when I think about prayer, I think about how that prayer is simply communication with God. You communicating with God. It should not just be, though, you communicating with God, but it should also be a time where God gets that opportunity to communicate with you. Because so many times people go into their prayer closet and they come out before they get an answer. I mentioned Mother Boyd when I was talking about fasting. But one of the messages that she oftentimes spoke was pray until the answer comes.
Until he pleased God. Prayed and his prayers went up before God as a remark.
Prayer is communication with God. I remember reading a survey about marriage relationships where they listed what is the most important thing in a marriage. The most important thing in a marriage, the number one was not sex, it was not money, but the number one continued to be communication. That's your opportunity to share and get to know each other. When you have a life of prayer, of course the Bible speaks that we should pray always and not faint. Instead of passing out, we should pray about it. The Bible speaks of praying without ceasing, which speaks of praying through. But prayer is my time to communicate with God. Now, we recognize that God already knows what we're going to say before we even say it. But the Bible speaks to us, Hebrews chapter 4, about coming boldly to Him in a time of need. The word boldly, again, parousia, speaks of all speech. Para, all, rhesia, speech. Meaning that I can come to God and talk to God about whatever is in my heart, whatever is on my mind. Prayer is a chance for me to share with God. And we know before we go to God, He already knows. For the Bible said He's touched by the feeling of our infirmities, not touched by us telling Him, but touched by what we feel. But if you read that passage, you find out, but when we share with Him where we're coming from, then that is what moves God to move and intervene on our behalf. Prayer is one of the most important tools that you can have in your spiritual toolbox. Prayer is one, fasting is another, studying and getting the Word of God is another tool that you need in your spiritual toolbox. Whether it's because of a need I have, I can go to God. Or even if it's sometimes just I want to share and tell God some things that I won't tell anybody else.